Hello everyone. Today, I'd like to introduce you to phonetics. What is phonetics? Phonetics is a component of linguistics which deals with the study of speech sounds. As you know, linguistics is a systematic study of how language operates. There are many components in linguistics, and phonetics is just one of them. Phonetics deals with sounds. Why are sounds so important? We know that when we speak a language, we should be intelligible to the listeners. Would we like it if someone spoke Malayalam very differently? So differently that it didn't sound like Malayalam? I'm sure we wouldn't. Similarly, when we speak English, it shouldn't sound strange to the listeners. It should sound like English. And that is the purpose of learning phonetics. Learning phonetics in the present day world is very significant, especially in the case of English. We know that English is the language of opportunity in today's global scenario. English has become the global language. If we have to survive, especially outside our state, we require English. We know that there are several problems or difficulties faced by people like us. We learn English as a second language. Hence, we have to overcome many hurdles. One of the major difficulties we encounter when we try to learn English is the lack of correspondence between spelling and pronunciation. Why does this happen? It is because English is not a phonetic language. What then is a phonetic language? A phonetic language is a language where a sound is represented by a letter, or in other words, one letter represents only one sound. But we know, as far as English is concerned, there is no such one-to-one correspondence between the letters of the alphabet, between the letters that we use to write a word, and the sounds represented by these letters. For example, take a look at the words I've written on the board. We have 4 words here. The first one is mat, second one mate, third one part, fourth one want. All these words have the letter A. But as you can understand, the same letter A, the first letter of the English alphabet, is pronounced differently in these 4 words. In the first word, A is pronounced A. In the second word, it is pronounced as A. In the third word, it is A. And in the fourth word, it is O. So the same letter of the English alphabet represents different sounds. If you look at the next 2 words, rough and ghost, you can see I've underlined 2 letters in each of these words. The letters I've underlined are G, H. Which sound does this combination GH represent? In the word rough, we pronounce GH as fur. But what about the same letters in the next word? The same combination, GH, is pronounced G in ghost. If you take a look at the next 2 words, there is a similar problem. The CH in chat represents the sound ch, whereas the CH in the word chemistry is pronounced K. So this is the one problem that we face with the pronunciation of English. The same letter of the alphabet may represent more than one sound, and the same sound can also be represented by different combinations of letters. Okay, so it is to solve this problem. I hope you understood what the problem is. You know, the English alphabet has only 26 letters, A to Z. These 26 letters are not sufficient to represent the 44 sounds in only one variety of English, that is RP. RP stands for received pronunciation. There are many varieties of English. If we take just this one variety, it consists of 44 sounds. So you can imagine how difficult it would be to represent the 44 sounds of RP using only the 26 letters of the English alphabet. So this is one major problem that all those who try to acquire English as a second language are likely to face. It was to solve this problem that the International Phonetic Association came up with the International Phonetic Alphabet. In this alphabet, there are letters or symbols to represent all the sounds used in all the languages in the world. So the IPA, or the International Phonetic Alphabet, consists of all sounds used by the different languages used over the world. Each language selects the sounds that it requires from these sounds. So the International Phonetic Association tried to solve this problem by devising this alphabet where one letter of the alphabet stands for only one sound. And this is what we try to learn when we study phonetics. Once we are familiar with the alphabets or the letters of the IPA, and we can use these letters to transcribe or to write a word exactly as it is spoken. Let me draw your attention to the second problem, that is, the same sound being represented by different letters of the alphabet. This will become clear if you take a look at these 5 examples. The words sugar, sheet, nation, machine, and pressure have the sound sh. But what about the letters that represent this sound? In the first word, that is in sugar, the sound sh is represented by the letter S. In the second word, sheet, the same sound is represented by a combination of 2 letters, S and H. In the third word, it is the letter T that stands for this sound. In the fourth, the sound is represented by the combination CH. And in the last one, pressure, we have double S standing for the same sound sh. So from these examples, I am sure you might have understood the problem we face while trying to learn English. So the IPA, by devising the International Phonetic Alphabet, definitely made things easier. Once you are familiar with the symbols of the International Phonetic Alphabet, you can write exactly what you speak. So the problem is solved. Now, which is the dialect or which is the variety of English that has been chosen as the standard English? We know that broadly we can say that there are two varieties of English, British English and American English. There are plenty of other varieties too, like Australian English, Canadian English, we even have Indian English. But it is necessary to have a common standard which everybody can follow. Especially when we try to teach or learn English, we have to follow a standard. So in spite of there being several varieties of English in Britain itself, one particular variety was chosen as the standard variety. And that variety is referred to as Received Pronunciation or RP. And in this single variety, we have 44 speech sounds. These 44 speech sounds can be split into 24 consonants and 20 vowels. So before we proceed any further, let me introduce you to these sounds in RP. First, we'll take a look at the vowels. There are 20 vowel sounds in RP. Of these 20 vowel sounds, 12 are pure vowels and the remaining 8 are diphthongs. A diphthong is a combination of two vowel sounds. Here on the board, I've written these 20 vowel sounds with examples, words where I have underlined the letter representing the particular vowel sound. The first pure vowel is E. It is the sound that we come across represented by the letter I in bit. The sound E in the word bit, that is how we pronounce the letter I in bit. It is E. Coming to the second one, this is the sound E. E. You can see there are two dots after the letter. These two dots represent the length mark or the length diacritic. It shows that this vowel is long or longer than the other vowels, which do not have this length mark. This is the sound we find in the English word beat. In the word beat, this sound is represented by the letters EA. EA is pronounced E in beat. The next one, very similar to the English alphabet, E. But the sound is different. Though we write it like this, it is pronounced A. A. Example, the sound represented by the letter E in the word bet. The next sound is A. A. The sound represented by the letter A in the word bat. The next one, A. A. The sound of U in but. U is pronounced A in but. How do we pronounce AR in part? It is A. That is the next sound. A. This is also a long vowel, as you can see from the length mark, the two dots. A is also a long vowel, and in part it is represented by the two letters AR. The next one, O. O. The sound in the word pot. Pot. The letter O represents the sound O. The next one is again a long vowel. O. O. It is the sound in the word court. Court. Here we have a combination of 4 letters, A, U, G and H, representing the sound O. Coming to the next short vowel, U. For example, the word put. Here, the letter U stands for the sound U. In the word pool, we have the next sound, that is oo. One more long vowel. This is oo. And it is represented by double O in pool. Next we have A. A. The first sound in the word ago. Ago. So the word ago begins with this sound A, and it is represented by the letter A. The last pure vowel is a long one. It is pronounced Example, the sound in bird. The letters IR are pronounced Now coming to the diphthongs, the remaining 8 vowel sounds. They are different from the 12 vowels that we just saw, because here we have a combination of 2 vowel sounds. The first diphthong is A, as in the word make, make. Here we have the letter A representing the sound A. The second one, I. The sound represented by the letter I in like. Third one, oi. The sound in the word toy. The fourth one, ow. Example, how. Next we have the sound O. The sound represented by the letter O in go. Coming to the next diphthong, this is pronounced ear. Example for this sound is the word dear. Next, air, as in the word care. And the last vowel sound is ur, as in the word poor, represented by the spelling double O. So these are the 20 vowel sounds in the RP variety of English, which is also the standard variety selected to be used in Britain. Moving on to the consonants in RP. As I said earlier, there are 24 consonants in this single variety of English. The 24 consonants include these sounds. The first one, p, as in the word pin. The second one, b, as in bin. Next we have t, as in tin. or tip. Next, D as in drum. K as in kin. G as in gun. Ch as in chin. J as in jack. As in men. As in next. As in sing. As in like. As in foot. As in van. As in sit. As in zip. As in sheep. As in pleasure. As in thick. As in den. As in hat. As in yet. As in run. And as in what. These are the 24 consonant sounds of RP. RP was incidentally also referred to as Queen's English, BBC English, and even public school English. The reason for this was that it was the language spoken, or the variety of English spoken by the members of the royal family, the educated people, especially those who were educated in the public schools and Oxford and other universities of England. It was also the variety of English selected to be used on the BBC. But we know today, we cannot say that all the speakers or all the programmers on the BBC use only RP. Anyway, earlier, all the elite, the educated persons used this particular variety of English, that is RP. So, in this class, we took a look at how the International Phonetic Alphabet, consisting of the letters representing the sounds of all the languages spoken in the world, was devised by the International Phonetic Association. And we also saw why it is essential that we learn this new alphabet. The 26 letters of English alphabet are insufficient to represent the 44 sounds of English. I also tried to tell you, or rather show you, how these 44 sounds, the 20 vowels and the 24 consonants, are pronounced. I hope you have understood the class. Thank you. We'll be meeting later for another session on phonetics.